Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Leigh Sports Village for today's Kingston Press Championship match between Leigh Centurions and the Featherstone Rovers. The start of a new era for the Rovers. Andy Hay leaving the club earlier in the week and the appointment of John Sharp towards the back end of the week. It's time now to go down to pitch side and hear the thoughts of John Sharp ahead of his first game in charge. John, welcome to Featherstone. Glad to be back at your hometown club.
Oh, absolutely chuffed to bits. Really, really pleased. The opportunity came along, and it was just too good a chance. Really, the referee's job was always short term for me. It was very much about getting back into coaching and getting back at the right club with the right people around me. And when Mark approached, had some good conversations about the ambitions of the club and some of the things that he wanted to do with it. And he felt I was the right man for it, and I thought the club was right for me as well. And I had a look round, seeing some of the facilities they have and some of the players that they have in the club, and I thought, yeah, it seems and feels like a good marriage.
You say Mark approached you during the week. Just how much input have you had leading up to today's game?
I've had them for a couple of sessions at the back end of the week. Tried not to give them too much. I've seen them a fair few times. Watched lots of DVDs, and I went to Bradford and watched them play really well at Bradford, and then to the game against Dewsbury as well. So I've seen the team a fair bit. I know what they can and what they can't do, and my philosophies are maybe a little bit different to Andy's, but I've just got to be careful how much information I give them. It's going to be a nervous time today playing against a really good team anyway, so very much aware of information overload, not giving them too much, but giving them some things that will probably help them today.
Are you looking to make many changes to the style of coaching that Andy brought in?
I'm not sure on Andy's style. I've got my own style, and it's stood me in good stead, or reasonably anyway, for quite a while now. I've got philosophies that change over time, and my philosophies will change with this group as well. It very much depends on the roster that you've got and the players that you've got and the staff that you have and the amount of time that you can work with them. But I've seen lots of good things in the two sessions I've had with the blokes. There will be changes. I'm looking forward to playing expansive types of football and have a real tough and mean defence as well, but it takes more than two sessions to implement that.
You're coming at a very difficult time of the season towards the only 3 games left before the middle eights. Were you looking to make an impact on the middle eights?
We're talking about the middle eights has been a really, really important thing for the club, and I think probably another 4 or 5 other clubs are going to be talking about the same things, including Halifax and London and ourselves battling for that 4th spot. So I think we know what we need to do. I think it's going to be very tight. I thought the loss at Dewsbury, or against Dewsbury, was just added a little bit too much, or a little bit of pressure that probably we didn't need. But we know that we've got to play the best we can and probably win all 3 games. That's what we're targeting. We're coming here today to win the game. We're not coming here to compete and play well. It's important that we win.
Coming into today's game, Rovers are unbeaten away from home in the league except for Summer Bash. Coming into the game high on confidence, you must be looking forward to working with, to hopefully continuing that run.
I'm a positive coach anyway, and I've got plenty of belief in this group, particularly after some of the things I have seen. The record away from home is good. This group that we're playing against is also very good. I don't think they've lost a home game for over 12 months, so it's going to be a real good battle. It's going to be a tough game. I saw the Summer Bash game, and although I didn't like some of the things I saw in that game, I saw lots of good things from both teams as well, so I'm sure we're going to have a cracking match.
Can you give us any team news on today's game?
Yeah, there's Mims is not going to play. He's still suffering from a head knock. He took a week or so ago. He's still struggling with that. It's not quite clear there, and player welfare and his health's the most important thing. So he's stood down, and Brad England will come into his position. Seeing some things from Brad that I like, and I know he's a tough kid, and I know he'll handle the situation well today. Cook's come back. He's in the halves. He'll play alongside Moore. Paul Wood comes straight back into the side. I think someone of his experience, the quality that he has, I think it's really important that after warm-up we get him out there as soon as possible. The Summer Bash was a tough one for him, and I think he's looking forward to just getting back out on that field and focusing on some football, and he'll be very much disciplined. He'll be very focused on his job, and I think it was just important to start him up.
And just finally, what threats are you expecting from this Leigh team today? Where do you see their key dangers?
Oh, their halves have got some football in them. They like to play. They certainly do. In all parts of the field, they'll challenge you. You can't afford to have a play-off. We really need to stay concentrated on every play when they've got the ball. I think defensively, I think they put you under pressure as well. I think they've got some players in there that can hit. I think they've got some bang in the defence. But for us, today's very much about us. The focus all week's been about Featherstone and about how we're going to play, not so much about what Leigh does and what their threats are.
John, thanks for your time. We'll speak to you after the match.
Thank you.
Afternoon, everybody. Interesting to hear the thoughts of new coach John Sharp there ahead of today's game. Just while we await the arrival of the teams, I have the teams in front of me now. Starting off with the Centurions. At full back is number 1, Greg McNally. In the 3 quarters, at 15, Johnny Pownell. Number 3 is Greg Worthington. Number 4 is Tom Armstrong. And number 5 is Liam Kay. The half-backs for Centurions, where they're most dangerous by all accounts, is number 6, Martin Ridyard, and 7, Ryan Brierley. In the front row today is number 8, Fui Moi Moi, and number 29, Jake Emmett. And in between those two is number 9, Bob Bezic. In the second row for the Centurions, number 19 is Kurt Haggerty, and number 22 is Andrew Dixon. And the loose forward today, such controversial player at the Summer Bash, is Gareth Hawke. On the bench for the Centurions today is number 30, Mickey Hyam, number 13, Sam Barlow, number 10 is Oliver Wilkes, and number 20 is Sam Hopkins for coach Paul Rowley. The Rovers side sees changes from last time out against the Rams. At full back is number 1, Ian Hardman. In the 3 quarters, number 5 is Ben Blackmore. Number 6 is Paul Sykes. Making his first start for Rovers in the centre. An interesting choice is number 34, Brad England. And on the opposite wing is number 21, Jai Hitchcocks. So no place again for Will Sharp, who is 18th man. The Hearts today see the return of Paul Cook wearing number 36. He will replace Will Milner. And he will partner number 7, Gareth Moore. In the front row for Rovers, number 8 is Jordan Baldwinson, and he will partner alongside, making his return. His last match was against the Centurions at the Summer Bash, so making his return is number 10, Paul Wood, and he will be in between those two is hooker number 9, Andy Ellis. In the second row for Rovers, number 18 is Jamie Cording, and number 12 is Rennie Matua, and the loose forward is number 13, Tim Spears. On the bench for Rovers this afternoon, number 35 is Luke Cooper, 27 is Jack Ormondroyd, number 15 is Jack Bussey, and number 19 is Alex Foster. And coach for the first time this year is John Sharp, and today's match referee is Chris Kendall. Joe, your thoughts on today's match first of all?
Well, it's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Because there's quite a few new things happening today. Obviously, first game under the new coach of John Sharp, so it'll be interesting to see how the team react, although he's only had a couple of training sessions with the team. The other things that are interesting are the Wood-Hawk possible standoff. Obviously, Wood has just returned. This is his first game back, as you say, so it'll be interesting how that plays out, with Hawk hoping for a nice clean game today. And also the Cook-Moore half-back pairing, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Cook's only played half a game for us so far, hasn't he, against Hunslet, and he did impress. So it'll be really see how he plays with Moore today for a full 80 minutes, hopefully.
Interestingly for Rovers, Joe, this season we've used 8 different half-back partnerships, and this one has only been used once at Hunslet.
For half a game, yeah.
Do you think that's had an effect on the team?
I think it possibly could have done. I mean, ideally, I think any coach would want a stable half-back pairing, and we just, for a variety of reasons, we've just never reached that this season. We're going to the business end of the season now, and let's hope that we get some stability.
It is going to be the Centurions who get the first use of the ball, playing from right to left in the first half. We'll be speaking to Joe throughout the match. So it's Leigh Centurions against Featherstone Rovers, live from the Leigh Sports Village Don't go anywhere. If it's anything like the Summer Bash, we're in for an absolute belter of a match. It's going to be Paul Sykes who gets this game underway for Rovers. And there is the kick-off. And it's taken by the Centurions. And Ridyard juggles with it, but just holds on. It's one of the things with the Centurions. They did it at the Summer Bash, Joe. They threw the ball wide early. And on the second tackle in Blackpool, they were forcing to touch. Trying to do it again there and nearly again coming up with a mistake.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of passes under your post. It's perhaps a bit of overconfidence is that, but we'll see. Moi seemed to hurt Paul Wood there a little bit as well in that first tackle, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Here are the Centurions, they're up to their own 40. Ridyard from actually in half-back, then he gets the ball away.
Jake Emmett has a real, he's got a real work ethic, hasn't he, on him?
He certainly has, and there's the kick from Ridyard. It's hit the ground, is it going to run dead? Or it's hard, it's going to just run dead. But Tom Armstrong was chasing that one down, Joe. Rovers letting the ball bounce, which is always a dangerous ploy. But in the end, it worked out just okay for Rovers.
It did. They didn't look overly confident with that bouncing ball, did they? And thankfully, it went dead for us. See what this set of 6 brings for us now.
Here's Hitchcox. Ellis moves that ball inside. Here's Ben Blackmore. Rovers just short of halfway. Ellis again scoots and then offloads to Paul Wood. Paul Wood finds Paul Cook. Rovers were looking to Paul Cook for that control that he showed in that first half of Hunslet.
There will be, certainly. That was nice play by Andy Ellis there, scooting from the dummy half, and we're hoping to see lots of that today.
Ellis finds Gareth Moore. Gareth Moore with a kick for the corner. Liam Kay is able to take it and gets out of his in-goal area. But good chase from Paul Sykes. And the ball's been knocked on. So Rovers come up with the early possession, the first chance, and as in Blackpool, Leigh making a mistake early in the game show, and Rovers with a great chance now.
Fantastic chase by Paul Sykes there, forcing the error. I think was it from Liam Kay, and a fantastic chance there for Rovers as we've got a scrum on the 10-metre line, 10 metres away from that Leigh try line. Great start.
So Rovers are going to get head and feed at this scrum. Here is Cook now. Hardman. Sorry, not Hardman, sorry, that was Tim Spears, my apology. Here's Ellis. Finds Moore. Moore out the back door. Rovers, is it Blackmore again? I thought for a minute they were going to do what he did in Blackpool. It's inches short though, Moore now. Paul Wood. Runs straight at Gareth Hock, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit of a highish one from Hock there on Wood.
Here's Cook. Short pass to Matua.
Very flat pass that, wasn't it?
Centurions wanted and it was on the last tackle, and Rovers have a penalty. Just what Rovers wanted of all the times to concede. It's on the last.
Yeah, I think there was a hand in there with Rennie Matua. The ball came free.
So here are Rovers then with another 6 on the Centurions line. They're a metre short at the minute. Ellis finds Wood. Wood's going to drive it in again. He looks hungry for this ball today, does Paul Wood. Ellis offloads and Baldwinson just can't hold on. Puts the ball to ground. Still not scored a try for Rovers this season. There was his chance, but just a ball going to ground.
Yeah, you felt that if he'd have taken, well, I mean, he'd have been under the post, wouldn't he, if he'd have taken that cleanly, but just in the act of taking it and the tackle coming in, he knocked it on, unfortunately. So, scrum to Leigh, 10 metres away from their line.
So let's off for the Centurions, but Rovers building some real pressure there, Joe. That's what they need to do, is get in the faces of Leigh early and pin them back. It
is. We haven't to panic too much. You know, we've got to make this pressure count and hopefully convert it into points, but we haven't to panic when we've got the ball neither, thinking that we do have to score from every time we have possession.
So here's Brayley. Drops that pass off towards Emmett. Ebbett, that's a good run and an offload as well. Hock. This is where the Centurions are dangerous. And it's knocked on, is it? Oh, it's just held on.
Yeah, good tackle from Paul Sykes again there.
It wasn't. But the ball is into touch. As Rovers have got a hand to it, says the referee. It'll be head and feet to the Centurions just inside the Rovers half.
Yeah, it was unlucky was that, because it wasn't a great pass there from Briley. Is it from McNally, sorry, and
It was Gareth
unfortunately
Moore
it came off Gareth
Moore going for the intercept, I think.
So scrum Leigh just inside the Featherstone half.
Gareth Moore on Tom Armstrong. That's a great tackle. Here's Liam Kay though.
Moore's hurt his hand there making that good tackle though, and Leigh have made quite a lot of metres, and they're just 15 metres out.
Here's Hock.
Need to keep them out, it's really important.
Certainly is. Here's Emmett. Takes on that line again. Runs at Baldwinson and Ellis. Bezic finds Moy. Has he got it down?
Yeah.
The referee is going to give it. It's Fui Moy. It's the first blood to the Centurions after 6 minutes. It was great play down the centre. The pass from Bezic into the hands of Fui Moy, who had the strength to crash over. And after 6 minutes, the Centurions draw first blood. Leigh Centurions 0, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Yeah, it's, as I was just saying, we needed to keep them out there. That was the first bit of pressure that Leigh had put on our line. And that goal line defence of ours didn't hold up, and it was a bit of a disappointing try, I guess, was that, to give away. They built the pressure up on the left, and then Bezic just suddenly switched it to the right. Moy came onto it like an express train and ended up going over just left of the post. So yeah, first blood to Leigh.
And Ridyard converts. So after 8 minutes here in the Leigh Sports Village, Centurions hold the early lead. It's Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 0. And Rovers now just need to pin the Centurions back. This game, you know, there's still plenty of time left in this game. It's only the one try. Rovers can hit back at Leigh. They've got the quality going forward, haven't we, Joe?
We certainly have. It's all about how we react to this now. It's how we do this next defensive set of 6 against Leigh.
It's a good kick-off, and here's the try scorer. Runs straight at Paul Wood. And here's Gareth Hock now. Bezic makes a few more yards. Centurions just going through the motions, and that's a howler from Ridyard. Took the ball inside his own 40. He was shaping up, I think, maybe for a 40-20 attempt, Joe, but losing control of the ball, and that's so unlike him.
It was, yeah. I mean, he just got the ball in his hands, like you say, shaping to take a kick, and just totally lost it. And this is what we need. We need to make sure that we've got a good set of 6, keep the ball in possession, and hopefully get another set from the back of it as well, and put some pressure on the Leigh defence, because they're not infallible.
They're certainly not, although they are an impressive outfit. They played very well against Warrington as Ian Hardman takes that first drive, and here come Rovers now with Tim Spears up to that 30. Good defence though from the Centurions. Ellis, Cook, to Moore, to Hardman. But good defence from Ridyard. Read that play superbly. Paul Wood runs straight at Gareth Hock. That's an interesting tactic after what went on in Blackpool. Ellis finds Baldwinson to Cook. Cook with a loop pass out towards Hitchcock, who kicks back inside. Rovers are over, are they?
Sorry if he was dead.
That is over.
Oh, it's a try.
That is outstanding for Brad England. It's Brad England on his first start for Rovers, and that is absolutely sensational. Worked out to that left-hand side, a looping pass from Paul Cook. Found Jai Hitchcox. Hitchcox with a kick in field. Brad England read it superbly, had the pace on the Centurions. What a finish. Joe Rovers hit back. Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
And that's exactly what we needed to do. We needed to make them pay for that Rijab mistake. But that's what Cook's in the side for, isn't it? To create things like that. What a fantastic, accurate looping pass that was out to the wing. And then Hitchcox had the presence of mind to put a lovely, delightful little kick in that England's chased and touched down with. And yeah, lovely try to watch was that, wasn't it?
It was indeed. Paul Cook showing the qualities that Rovers had brought him in for. His control of the game, his ability to spot that gap on the outside for Jai Hitchcox. They saw the space was there. It wasn't a lot of space, but he found that space. And Brad England showing the alertness to the kick through. Absolutely fantastic try for Rovers. And Paul Sykes converts, so the scores are level. It's Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 6.
Game on.
Indeed it is.
So early points for both teams. And that's just to show that when we get up there, we can score as well.
Rovers have the quality in this side to cause teams a lot of damage. They did it at Bradford a couple of weeks ago midweek. They've done it there. And here goes Jordan Baldwinson now. Runs straight at Jake Emmett. Rovers need a good backup set though here, Joe. Complete the set, get the field position and build from there.
Yeah, need to make some good meters here up the field away from our own line.
Here's Paul Wood again. He's getting through a lot of work early doors, is Paul Wood. Ellis tries to spin out, but is well held.
I think in some of the games when Paul Wood's been out, we really have missed him, haven't we? Missed that leadership.
Indeed we have, and here goes Rennie Matua. Bob Bezic just holds on, and here's Moore now. Moore puts a kick to the corner. How's Liam Kay under that one? Takes it well, but well wrapped up by Rovers. That's fantastic, and look where the Centurions are now. That's great defence from Featherstone Rovers.
Leigh fans shouting for a penalty for offside, but there's doesn't seem to be any problems at the moment with that.
Here's Moy Moy. And he's lost the ball. Rovers have come up with it again.
Moy, what was he doing there, trying to offload? I mean, silly position, overconfidence again, is that?
It is, but that's the way the Centurions play. Rovers are in the 20 now. Cook with a short pass to Matua.
Yes, he's still waiting to put his boot back on. He's playing with one boot.
Cook again.
No.
Is it through the hands? Rovers are over again, have they?
No,
it's a forward pass. Cook's pass was taken, meant for Mins. I think it was not Mins, sorry.
England.
Brad England it was. It came off England and went forward to Jai. But Rovers again, Joe, showing they can get over that line, showing they can cause the problems.
Yeah, I think they've obviously targeting down that left-hand side again, aren't they, and attacking it. And yeah, it was just a bit unfortunate there that actually bounced from England into Hitchcox's hand, but it did actually go forward. Hitchcox did get over the line though. So we're causing them a bit of problems in these early few minutes of the first half.
Just need to keep this pressure on at the moment and keep the Centurions pinned down here.
Go on. Good.
Pushing him back. That's great defence.
Yeah, that defence was a combination of Cook, England and Hitchcox.
Here goes Moy, but Rovers, you can see the eagerness in the tackle. The line speed at the minute is absolutely superb. Here's where the Centurions are dangerous. Through the hands it goes. It's Tom Armstrong. Emmett acting halfback. Through the hands it goes. But look at this defence from Rovers, Joe. 5 tackles and they're only just outside the 20.
They're spreading it now though. They're going for the power play. Come on, Hartman takes it well.
That's great play down that right-hand edge though from Johnny Pownell on the last tackle, spreading the play. The Rovers juggle with the ball there. But a penalty given for a ball steal. Gareth Hook involved in that tackle. And Rovers have got a player down. I can't see who it is though. It's Ben Blackmore who's down.
Yeah, that was amazing defence just then before though, wasn't it, from Featherstone Rovers to only let Leigh make 20 metres forward. That was tenacious defence, but Leigh did what they're good at, and on the last tackle, instead of kicking, they did a power play, and that brought them down the field. But we dealt with it well, and we've got a penalty on the back of it, so we need to bring that back up the field.
And we're starting just inside the Centurions half. Paul Wood plays the ball to Ellis. Here's Jordan Baldwinson now. Ellis again. Here's Tim Spears. Rovers making good yards going forward with these forwards at the minute. Here's Cook, some more. Well seen by Ridyard. That's the quality for Ridyard. Read that play superbly, cut it out. Cook this time again.
Yeah, he's very good at reading plays, Ridyard, isn't he? And coming in with those tackles. It's the last tackle now.
Paul Cook steps away. Offloads to Blackmore for the corner. Gets the ball out back in field. Blackmore, I thought he was in then, but great defence for the Centurions. But that's the danger that Paul Cook shows, Joe.
It is.
Step inside, working the gap.
Yeah, Leigh didn't really know what he was going to do there, and that's what's good about having Paul Cook in your team. You just don't know what he's going to do. He's got that unpredictability about him, and they weren't sure. He looked as though he was going to shape up to do a little grubber, but actually kept hold of the ball, did a little step inside, found a bit of space, managed to get it out, but unfortunately Ben Blackmore just couldn't squeeze in at the corner there.
So Rovers causing problems for the Centurions. Another repeat defensive set like the last one, and Rovers could be in a great position here. There looked to be a fumble at that play of the ball. The referee's happy enough with it though. And here's Jake Emmett. Bezic finds Moi Moi.
What a tackle by Andy Ellis on Moi Moi. Moi Moi's hair went back. Oh dear,
that's an awful pass. Once again the Centurions put the ball down in their own half, Joe. They're inviting the pressure on, and Rovers with their away form at the minute don't need much of an invite, do we?
They certainly don't. Yeah, it was a bit of a shocker from Bob Bezic, wasn't it? It was along the floor, play had to stoop low to gather it, and you could tell that it was going to knock on. So we've got a scrum here, 40 metres out from the try line. Let's build some pressure again. Paul Cook feeding the scrum.
It's an interesting one, is that? Here's Gareth Moore. And so Rovers start this set on the 40 now. Ellis finds Jamie Cordy. Ellis again. Here's Tim Spears. Spears to the loose pass on the floor to Moore. Paul Cook has to take it.
Leigh were wanting a bit of obstruction there, but I think, to be fair, it wasn't. High tackle there on Gareth Moore. Oh, we're getting a bit of tastiness here. I don't think Rennie Mateo needed to push Kurt Haggerty in the back there.
No, but we had plenty of this at Blackpool, of course. I've seen the first half of that game this morning. I think there were 3 or 4 comings together in the first half alone at Blackpool.
Yeah, Mr. Kendall's just going to have a word with Rennie Matua, I think, because there was no need for him to go in there, and he does need to stamp his authority, does Mr. Kendall, on this game, because there is history between these sides, and he's brought Paul Sykes over to have a chat as well as captain. But the penalty does go to Featherstone for that Haggerty high tackle on Gareth Moore.
As Oliver Wilkes comes on for Fui Fui Moi Moi. Rovers are going to start this set 15 metres out, and it's a tap and run from Brad England. That's great, quick thinking. Rovers into the 10. Ellis, Baldwinson.
Come on, Jordan.
Still not got a try for Rovers. He's held up a metre short.
Very close to the try line here.
Moore. Hardman. Gets away. Finds Blackmore again. Takes on Tom Armstrong on the outside. But just can't get over. Cording attacks in half. Finds Moore. Moore goes without the ball.
It wasn't the best from Gareth Moore, that choice there, was it? It all went a little bit wrong. Leigh crowd not happy with something. I don't know what really. But yeah, I think Gareth will be a little bit disappointed with his choice of kick, won't he, though?
Yes, definitely not the best. And here are the Centurions now. They're up to their own 30-metre line. Ball's worked out to his left-hand edge with Andrew Dixon. Bezic tries to go down the short side. Here's Armstrong. But good defence from Rovers. Jamie Cording in the tackle.
Oh dear!
And the half-backs for the Centurions are having an absolute nightmare out there at the minute, Joe. Both Ridyard and Brearley throughout the course of this first half making such uncharacteristic mistakes.
But to be fair, that pass from Bezic again, it was very off, wasn't it? I mean, again, it was low for Ridyard to take. It wasn't an ideal pass for the halfback to take. So, wouldn't Bezic just having a little bit of a chat down there? But yeah. Leigh are making uncharacteristic mistakes, but that's what happens when you get in the face, and we'll see what goes on in this next set of 6, because it's starting to get a bit tasty out there.
Ben Blackmore told to play that ball. We've got 22 minutes on the clock here at the Leigh Sports Village. It's Leigh Centurion 6, Featherstone Rovers 6, and what a 22 minutes it's been. Here's Paul Cook to Matua.
Oh, lovely
Through
pass
the
from
hands it
Matua.
goes. Here's Matua again. Finds Moore. Rovers keeping this alive. Wood to Cording to Sykes now.
Leigh defence watched them well all the way there, though. I mean, it was a great pass from Matua out there, and we were passing it well along the line, but the Leigh defence was matching us there.
Paul Wood finds Baldwinson. Rovers 30 metres out centre field. Andy Ellis finds Moore. Moore to Matua. Matua for a gap. Matua to Rovers are over. Is it Ian Hardman? I think it is. I think it's Ian Hardman who's over. Yes, it is. That is sensational from Rennie Matua again. Hits the gap superbly. Breaks through the Centurions' defence, and Ian Hardman doing what the Centurions do so well in support. Able to get that ball down. Rovers take the lead. Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 10.
Yeah, he's so strong out there. Is Rennie Matua, is he, on that left-hand side? Is such a strong force to have in your team, and he just found himself going through the gap there, and fantastic support. There were 2 players supporting Rennie as he was running through there. I thought perhaps he could have made it on his own, but he was cleverly looked for the support, passed it to Ian Hardman, who went over. So that's second try, and we're looking a little bit on top here, aren't we, I dare say, Ben?
Certainly look to be in control a minute. Rovers away form this year has been nothing short of outstanding. Victories at London, victories at Bradford. They've come here today high on form and away from home, high on confidence as well away from home. Looking to make amends for last week at home to Dewsbury. And so far they're doing just that as Paul Sykes lines up this conversion. Rovers fans are in fine voice away to our left.
They certainly are.
The kick is successful, so Rovers stretch out even further. Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 12, Paul Sykes 2 for 2. What is the difference between playing at the big fellas and away from home? I'd love to know. But Rovers away from home are just flying at the minute. Flying here again. As Gareth Moore takes that kick-off, finds Paul Wood with the inside pass. Rovers haven't made a change in the forwards yet, although it looks like they may be doing shortly. Here goes Andy Ellis. Mark is very slow there. Andy Ellis just ran around both. Here goes Blackmore now from Acton half.
Yeah, it's already a different tactic to Andy Hay employed, isn't it? Because he'd usually change the forwards about 20 minutes into the game, and we're nearly half an hour now, and still no change.
A flat pass there, I think it's fair to say, but Rovers up to the 40. Here's the last tackle, it's Moore. Moore with a kick over the top, he's aimed for the posts.
It's not a bad kick.
That's a great kick, and the Centurions having to start on their own line. And Rovers tactically at the minute, Joe, are getting it spot on.
They are, yeah, and they're almost bullying Leigh into the mistakes, and that's what you have to do against Leigh. You've got to show who's boss, and at the minute we certainly are, but we need to keep up this momentum.
Here's Jake Emmett. Plays the ball to Bezic. Ridyard finds Braley. Braley to McNally, through the hands it goes. And back inside, and that's where the Centurions are dangerous. It's back to 1. So here come Leigh. They've got a great chance for Sam Hopkins. Plays the ball to Bezic. Good defence from Matua.
20 metres out, 4 tackles left.
Here's Oliver Wilkes. Bezic waits. Ridyard to Braley. McNally.
It's looking like
Worthington. Has he got it down? Yes, he has. That's a try for Greg Worthington for the Centurions. That's where they're so dangerously spreading that ball out to the right-hand side. Ridyard to Braley, McNally, Worthington. Simple but so effective the way they do it. The Centurions hit back. It's Leigh Centurions 10, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Yeah, the way that Leigh execute their passing, it's just so clinical, isn't it, and quick. And they got it out quickly there to the right-hand side. Greg Worthington, we know how strong he is from our personal experience, and he went over quite well in the corner there. Looks like that we're making a couple of changes. Luke Cooper's coming on.
As is Jack Ormonroyd by the looks of it.
Yeah, Luke Cooper and Jack Ormonroyd coming on for Paul Wood, and I can't
Jordan
see who else is it.
Baldwinson,
Jordan Baldwinson. It makes sense if it was.
Rotating the forwards after nearly half an hour, Joe. It's an interesting one. You mentioned earlier on Andy Hay usually does it after 20 minutes, but they both had good half-hour stints of Wood and Baldwinson, and they've both gone very well.
Well, the first 30 minutes, it's gone almost to plan, hasn't it, I'd imagine.
Ridyard has missed the conversion. How crucial could that be in the grand scheme of things after 80 minutes? I don't know. But it's Leigh Centurions 10, Featherstone Rovers 12. And crucially, Joe, Rovers still have a 2-point lead.
I hope it does end up being really crucial for our benefit. So again, it's up to us now to come back with confidence like we did after the last time Leigh scored.
The stadium announcers just announced that Rennie Matua's the other player who went off, along with Jordan Baldwinson. So
he's still out there, is Rennie? He's just made the tackle.
So the stadium announcer doesn't know what he's talking about.
It's Paul Wood that went off.
It definitely was. So.
And you'd expect that with his first game back as well.
Yep. Here are the Centurions trying to X out Rovers though, Joe. Moving up so quickly in the defence. But
perhaps a little bit too quickly.
Penalty conceded for a strip. So a relieving penalty for the Centurions, but Rovers' defence so far is moving up very quickly on the Centurions, making them work hard.
We are, yeah. It's a shame we've given the penalty away, although they're still 10 metres in their own half, Leigh.
Oh, and Bob Bezic!
Back to one, it's back to one.
It's White's the tackle count. Bob Bezic drops that. I'm sorry, but that was a knock on.
I think Gareth Moore pulled it out of his arms, so the referees deemed that he touched it, did Moore, and his Bezic's regathered.
Oh, that's an interesting call from the referee as Sam Hopkins goes forward. Here's Bezic now.
Looking dangerous, Leigh, here. We need to regather our defence.
And a penalty is given. Bezic takes a tap. Ridyard, Brearley, McNally again, steps through. Is he over?
No, he's short. Is it? No,
he's going to give it. Greg McNally is over. The Centurions have hit back with 2 tries in 3 minutes. It looked to be short for a moment, but Greg McNally dances through the defence. And the Centurions take the lead. To and fro game is this one, but it's Leigh Centurions now 14, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Yeah, I think it was Brad England tried to come out to make a tackle. He came out of the defence. Unfortunately, he didn't make the tackle. And when you come out of the line like that, you've got to be sure that you're going to effect your tackle, and he didn't. So that gave McNally space to skip and dance, and he ended up going over. So Ridyard's it's in a similar position to the conversion attempt he's just done.
He's kicked that one. The first was a touch finder. The first was a range finder. That one is kicked. So Ridyard goes 2 from 3. And it's Leigh Centurions 16, Featherstone Rovers 12. And we have Jack Bussey has come on for Andy Ellis. So I fancy Jack Bussey. We're moving it hooker now for Rovers. We've got 7.5 minutes left to half time, Joe. We need to keep the Centurions out, keep them to 16. If we can sneak another try, all the better.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not a bad position to be in. We've let 2 quick tries in now. We've got to consolidate. Leigh have got the tails up, as you can see. They're playing the ball very quickly, and we've got to deal with that and keep the discipline as well.
So there's a great offload, and again, 2 superb offloads, and Ridyard's away. That's a forward pass, man! That was a mile forward! Ryan Brearley is over. Oh, that's awful! Absolutely awful decision. That was a mile forward, Joe. That pass was a mile forward. The referee right in line with it. But superb it was from the Centurions. You play to the whistle. It's Ryan Brearley who's gone over just to the left of the sticks. The Centurions are taking control, Joe, but not without controversy. That was a mile forward, Joe.
Well, it certainly seemed that way from up here, didn't it? I mean, as you say, the referee was down there. He should have seen it if it was a forward pass. It's always difficult, and he does have, the touch judges to help him with things like that. But the pass from Ridyard did seem forward to me. My first instinct, and everybody else up here. But as I was just saying, Leigh are piling the pressure on us at the minute. They're playing the ball quickly, and I was saying, we know we need to deal with this. We've got to get in their faces again, like we were doing 10-15 minutes ago. We've got to put this behind us. They scored 3 quick tries. We were looking on top, and we've not got to let this get to us. We've got to keep our heads up. And I'm hoping that, people like Cook and Matu are talking to the lads out there and making sure that they're keeping their heads up.
Kick-off is taken by Rovers, and here come the Centurions again then. Controversy reigns at the Leigh Sports Village. That pass did look to be forward to me. A good yard forward, if not more. And the referee was in line with it and was happy enough with it, and the Centurions are over, but here they are now. And the Centurions are looking to work out from their own 20 again. Sam Barlow's drive, and they're up to the 30. Ridyard to Brearley, it's worked out to Pownell again. Good work from Hitchcock though on Johnny Pownell then. And it's a dink from Ridyard, from Brearley, sorry. Gareth Moore reads it superbly, does he?
It went backwards.
It went backwards, so Rovers are okay. Ian Hardman swept up. Paul Sykes finds Ben Blackmore now. Rovers just need now a set to control the set, Joe. A penalty would be very nice, referee. But Rovers just need a controlled set, get a kick away and get an element of control back to the game.
Yeah, I quite agree. We just need a steady six, don't we? Because Leigh are throwing everything but the kitchen sink at us at the moment, and it must be so hard to deal with.
Thank you very much, Mr. Referee. We asked for it, we've got it. We've got 3.5 minutes left on the clock. I think the referee heard me. Rovers have a penalty. They're going to start 25 metres out from the Centurions line. Paul Sykes with a tap to Jamie Cordy.
Try would be nice here, wouldn't it, Ben, really, just before half time.
Just to get Rovers back within 4. Here's Ormondroyd. That's a good run, gets Rovers up to the 10. Jack Bussey's the rotating hooker. Bussey finds Moore. Moore shows it and goes himself, but that's well read. Bussey pointing where he wants to go, and then goes the other way. Here's Cook, an inside pass.
Very quick up on Cook with the Leigh defence there, weren't they? They know he's a danger.
Indeed, and here's Luke Cooper now.
Last tackle.
Here's the last tackle. Rovers need a try. Cook shows it. Is he going to offload? He is. Blackmore!
Oh, it's a forward pass.
It's a forward pass. It opened up then.
Oh, it's obstruction.
Obstruction is given actually. So the penalty taken.
Yeah, Paul Cook was just holding the ball up there, wasn't he, and looking to pass it out, and the referees deemed that some obstruction took place as it went out to Blackmore.
Dixon plays the ball, and here's Bezic now. Mickey Hyam's on for the Centurions, so not sure how they're working that one with Bezic and Hyam on.
Oh,
there's another offload to McNally. Brearley. He's over again, it's Ryan Brearley. Ryan Brearley is over for his second of the afternoon.
This is just what they're so good at, isn't it, Leigh? Their offloading skills. They just seem to have great awareness of every player that's there. And just to offload in the tackle like that and slip it out. I think it was Sam Barlow there. Slip that ball there, and you know, it's just to have that presence of mind to know that your player's there on your shoulder, to have the confidence. They're not making as many errors, are they? They seem to have put that to bed now as they were in the first 20 minutes, and you know, you've got to take your hats off to this Leigh team. They really are a professional outfit, aren't they?
They certainly are. An interesting call here from Rovers, Joe. Luke Cooper is making his way to the touchline, and it looks like Paul Wood is already coming back on. So close to half-time, yes he is. Paul Wood is returning for Rovers. Luke Cooper has gone off, And that's a bit of a strange one, so close to half time.
Unless he's injured, that's it, you know.
That's the only reason I can see that Rovers would make that change at this point.
Although he's not having any treatment, he's gone straight onto the exercise bike as he's come off, so...
A good kick-off from Rovers, causing problems.
Oh, that's a shocking pass.
And that is a shocking pass. I think it was Martin Ridyard. So Rovers, sorry. It was Ryan Braley, sorry. So Rovers are going to get one last set on the Centurions 20.
It was forward and everything. I mean, I was just saying about them being a professional outfit, but I think what perhaps what they do have, I've mentioned it already, is overconfidence, and that's Braley thinking, oh, I'll just pass it out wide to the wing and we'll go the length of the field. When, as a coach, I don't think I'd be too happy with that.
So close to half time as well. That's the difference, Joe. I mean, the time's up on my watch, so we're into injury time now. You know, if you're the Leigh coach, you want to say to them, you're in such a commanding position, so close to half time, surely the message has got to be to your players.
Some high tackles going in
look
here.
It to me. Looked high to me as well.
That was a high tackle on Alex Foster.
Bussey goes left, Matua
Go on,
away
Rennie.
from one.
He's lost the ball. Oh, he's got a penalty. It was a strip in the tackle on Rennie Matua there.
So close to half time. If this was more central, I know we're 16 behind, but if this was more central, I'd be thinking about taking the 2.
Yeah, I think
only because it's so close to half time. Bit of sportsmanship from the Centurions or not. Bussey's going to take the tap. Here's Ormondroyd. Rovers a metre away. Wood. Cook.
Oh, lovely
to Cording.
Pass. Lovely pass to Cording from Cook there.
Centurions just hold on.
Oh, that's not so good.
Here's Foster. Oh, that's dangerous.
No, it wasn't above the horizontal.
Oh, he's lucky. Bussey comes short. Here's Moore. Well wrapped up though by the Centurions.
Ridyard's so good at reading plays like that, isn't he? That's the third time he's done that, where he's come out of the line.
Here's Jack Bussey now. Cook to Matua. Matua with a kick, and it's a beauty of a kick. Rennie Matua of all people kicking through like that.
That was a delicate kick for a big man, wasn't it,
That was an outstanding kick from Matua.
He's forced the drop out.
And the Centurions are going to have to drop out. We're into
maybe time might have run out for us though. The referee has held the clock up, but we're very close to the half-time hooter.
How Rovers would love another, just one try now, or even a penalty in front of the sticks, get some points on the board.
I think this must be the longest time that anybody's taken to take a dropout in the world. Is Fui Fui Moi Moi going to take it?
I didn't even realise he'd come back on. There is the dropout, it's towards Paul Cook. Cook leaves it for Ian Hardman. Hardman finds Wood. So Paul Cook then looking to organise. Bussey finds Ormondroyd. Rovers 30 metres out. Bussey again. Here's Cook again to Matua. He's running it in so well is Matua. That is the half-time hooter. It started off well for the Centurions with a try from Fui Fui Moi Moi, which Martin Ridyard converted. 5 minutes later, on his first start for Rovers, Brad England went over to level things up. And then after 24 minutes, it got even better for Rovers when Ian Hardman scored. Sykes converted his second of the afternoon. 3 tries though within a 6-minute period for Greg Worthington, Greg McNally and Ryan Braley. Ridyard converting the latter 2 before Braley over again for his second try. Jerk back 2 or 3 minutes before half time. The Centurions are in control, Joe, but Rovers looking good at spells in that first half.
Yeah, I think it's a tale of 2 halves of the first half, really, isn't it? We seem to be matching them and forcing them into errors in that first 20 minutes up to sort of going ahead, but then Leigh hit back 4 tries in just over 10 minutes, and that was a real purple patch for them, and we just didn't have any answer for them in those 10 minutes. They've shown that they can make errors. They're not perfect, aren't Leigh? But when they do have the ball in hand, they are a danger, and it's so difficult for the Rovers defence to handle that. In fact, it's difficult for any championship defence to handle, really, as we've seen this season.
The half-backs are running the show for the Centurions a minute. Ridyard and Braley, they have made 1 or 2 uncharacteristic mistakes, but when they're clicking and when they're on form, they have an almost telepathic understanding, don't they?
They are, and I've been impressed with Ridyard's defence as well. When we've been attacking near their line, Ridyard's been coming out and is spotting our sort of deeper players and wrapping them up and not giving our half-backs any space to do it. But one bonus of that first half, Paul Cook, again, running the show near the line and showing some sublime passes he's been putting in, hasn't he?
It certainly has, but it's not over by any means. But I think Rovers, to be fair, do need first try in the second half, Joe, just to get them back within that 10 points and get them some confidence back.
Most definitely. I think both teams out here today are confidence teams, and you could see that with Leigh. And we were talking before the game started about Leigh, and even when they go behind, they still have that confidence that they will come back and they will win. And that's, I think, perhaps the difference between Leigh and Featherstone. We've not got as much of that confidence, but I think we're more of a confidence team when we go ahead.
We are indeed. It's half-time here at the Leigh Sports Village. Rovers are behind. Are they heading towards the first away defeat of the year? Join us for the second half shortly. It's Leigh Centurions 28, Featherstone Rovers 12. Back to the second half at the Leigh Sports Village. Leigh Centurions 28, Featherstone Rovers 12. Half-time penalty count is in Rovers' favour. Rovers with 5 penalties to the Centurions 2 at half-time. But the Centurions well ahead on the scoreboard due to some very clinical finishing in that second quarter. Running in 4 tries. As here come the Rovers. They're going to get first use of this ball in the second half. And it's been a big first half-time team talk for John Sharp, Joe.
It has, yeah. This will see just what his team talk consists of, won't it? The attitude that Featherstone come out with in the second half. See what happens from this kick-off, and we need a big set of 6, don't we? And I think you said it before half-time, Ben, that Rovers do need to score first in the second half if we're to have any chance of making something of this game.
Rovers certainly capable of doing that. There are tries in this Rovers team. We've shown it in that first half with Brad England and Ian Hardman both crossing. So Rovers know they can score tries. Just need to get one early and then try and pin the Centurions back. That's the kick-off. Taken by Hitchcox, who returns that ball.
Hitchcox had a bit of trouble there. The sun was in his eyes because the sun's come out now.
Here's Jack Ormondroyd now. Busty. to Matua.
I don't think Matua was expecting that.
I don't think Matua quite appreciated that pass from Gussie there, but he takes that one better. And here's Cording now. Fui Moimo looked to have a bit hold of the head there, I think.
Yeah. He's trying to stop the offload from Jamie Cording, but I don't think Cording was happy at all with the attention he received upstairs from Moimo.
There's a kick from Rovers. It's going to be too deep.
Yeah, it was far too deep, was that kick. So Leigh have got a 20-metre tap.
So Rovers, a good first set in possession, even if not a disappointing end to it with the kick. Need to pin the Centurions back, need to keep the defence tight. There's the drop-off pass, and here are the Centurions inside, just outside their own 40 now. Mickey Hyam finds Moimoi with a flat pass. Hyam again. Such a danger is Mickey Hyam, such a quality addition to this Leigh side as well, Joe.
Oh, he is, yeah. I mean, he's got so much experience, Mickey Hyam.
Ridyard's kick. Blackmore easily enough takes that one. And here's the return. He sees a gap and goes for it. Gap's well closed in the end by Barlow. Marcus Barlow working very well there from Marker. Here's Brad England.
Alex Foster, I think that is.
Is that Foster,
yeah.
sorry?
Yeah.
Here's Hitchcox now. Bussey finds Moore. Drop-off pass to Paul Wood. Offloads again to Gareth Moore. Moore with a looping pass out towards Blackmore down that way. Looking to get away, but well held up.
I don't think he should have got back up there. He's kept in the field of play, though. I think he should have just stayed down, should Ben there, but I don't think it's in his nature. And with him getting up, he nearly got bundled.
No, that's a kick from Moore. It's taken on the full from McNally. And here's the return. But great defence from Rovers, pinning the Centurions back on their own 10. Yeah, keep your discipline now, and Rovers could be in with a attacking opportunity. Here's Worthington trying to spin away from the tackles, but good defence.
Need to stop the offloads as well, don't we? You know, that's what Leigh are good at.
There's a scoop from Atsin half-back.
I'm sure that's something that John Sharp will have been talking about at half-time, about how we can control those offloads from Leigh.
A disappointing set against McNally, and not the best kick from Mickey Hyam either. Straight down the throat of Ian Hardman, whose return gets Rovers to halfway. Here goes
Hitchcox. Great, goes shy!
Hitchcox!
Oh no! What's he given?
Oh, what's he saying here?
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think as he's played the ball there, I think that he's stepped forward and held the Leigh players, the referees deemed, giving that space for Jai Hitchcox to run through.
Oh, that's a controversial call. But then, a very controversial call, and it was a great break from Hitchcox as well.
It was, but you know, if we, I mean, obviously the referee has seen something down there. If we are deemed to have held the markers, that's what's created the gap for Hitchcox to run through. Shame that, and unfortunately Leigh are within 20 metres now of our try line and looking dangerous.
They certainly are. So 12 metres out now, centre field. Here's Barlow, offloads to Moimoi. Fui Moimoi using his strength from the offload by Sam Barlow. 5 minutes into the second half, just the start that Leigh wanted. Not the start that Rovers wanted though. Leigh stretched out further. Leigh Centurions 32, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Yeah, it's impossible to stop his free Moi. That's what they've bought him for, isn't it? His power near that try line, and his ferociousness in defence, of course. But yeah, there was absolutely nothing that Jamie Cording could do to stop free Moi. I think he sort of was carried over the line with him there. So yeah, Sam Barlow just held it up, and Moi came running onto it, and unstoppable. But as you say, that is not what Featherstone Rovers wanted in these opening exchanges of the second half, and it's just a shame that it came off the back of a penalty after we looked to have broken away.
Another point to think about, Joe, looking at the table down from 3 to 6, is the points difference. At the moment, the Centurions have 20 points, so Rovers goes down by 22 points now. Yeah. Points difference could be crucial in the running for the top 4, and this is not going to be good for Rovers. There's still over half an hour left to play, and Centurions have already got a 22-point lead, and this could get worse.
It could, but I mean, as we've been talking about, we've got quality in our side, and we have got the ability to score against Leigh. We just need to keep our discipline and not give away cheap meters to the opposing side.
There's the kick-off taken by Brierley. And here are the Centurions now. The Centurions fans away to our right in absolutely fantastic voice again.
And quite rightly so, the top of the table. Penalty to Leigh there. The ball came free, and it was deemed that we'd stripped it out in the tackle, which, what I was just saying about giving cheap meters away, that is not what we need to do. We've just given a good 30 metres away there on the back of a penalty.
So the Centurions starting the Rovers half. Here's Barlow with a pass. Centurions have really got the tails up at the minute, looking in fine form. Here's Ridyard through the hands to Moi again. Penalty given for what?
René Matua was a little bit unfortunate there. Moi was charging through. Matua stole the ball from him, but I think one of our players, I'm not sure who it was, came into the tackle at the last minute, and it was deemed a 2-on-1 ball steal. So yeah, back-to-back penalties there for Leigh.
And here are the Centurions then, 10 metres out. Down the short side. Hyam, Braley, here's Sam Barlow. Hyam sees a gap. Moi. Has he got it down? He has, you know. Fully, Moi has got it down, and that's his hat-trick. That is poor from Rovers.
Moi there acting dummy half. He's gone into the hooking role. No, he took the ball there near the line, fancied his chances against our goal line defence, and he's a really big, strong guy, and we just couldn't stop him there, so he's got his hat-trick. And the Leigh crowd have gone absolutely bonkers because they love him down here, don't they?
They do love him. He's a real character from what I've been told, and such a quality addition to this Centurions team. But Rovers at the minute are really struggling down here at the Leigh Sports Village. I can't see any way back from Rovers at the minute.
Damage limitation, I think, Ben, that's what we're looking at now, damage limitation.
I think, to be fair, you are probably right. It's Leigh Centurions 38, Featherstone Rovers 12, with a kick to come, and the frightening thing, Joe, is there's still half an hour left.
Yeah, there certainly is. What we need is a bit of ball in hand, a bit of possession this half would be really great. When we've had the ball in hand, we've we've not completed the 6, and when we've had Leigh down in their own part of the field, we've given a penalty away, and you cannot do that against teams like Leigh.
Can't do it against any team, but especially a team with the quality of the Leigh Centurions, as Paul Sykes once again gets this game underway. And here's Jake Emmett. They've got such quality all across the team, Joe, from 1 to 13. Well,
1 to 17.
From the old-fashioned 1 to 17, with the squad numbers in play now, but they're so dangerous right across the park.
What we have to do now is have a really good defence, no penalties, no offloads, wrap them up. But it's easier said than done. It's very easy for me to say this up here when I haven't got 13 Leigh players charging at me.
Jake Emmett offloads to Brealey again. Here's Greg Worthington, put him in touch.
They have. Ouch.
Oh, he's gone into the hoarding.
Yeah. Worthington went with his back into the hoarding there. Hitchcox has gone to pick him up. It's a bit of a steep banking for draining off into it as they go over the touchline here.
That's better from Rovers though, Joe, forcing the Centurions wide, managing to get Worthington into touch, and they're going to start this set just short of halfway.
And they need to take heart from this to Featherstone Rovers. They've got to look at these positives and take from it what they can, and try and get back into this game somewhat. Leigh defence seemed up very quick from that scrum there.
They're not onside, nowhere near. Here are the Centurions though. Rovers, sorry, just inside the Leigh half. Andy Ellis is back on for Rovers.
That was a penalty. There was just an extra shove on Jamie Cordin there. He was trying to play the ball, and there was just that extra shove on him there. And luckily the referee spotted that one. So Featherstone get their first penalty this second half,
which Paul Sykes takes to Jamie Cording, and Rovers just short of the 20 now. Ellis finds Paul Wood. With the exception of a 10-minute spell, Joe, Paul Wood has been on the pitch the whole game, and he's probably been playing really well, hasn't he?
Well, he's had a big rest, hasn't he? So hopefully he's been keeping fit in those games that he's been suspended.
Here's Ormondroyd, plays the ball to Ellis. Wood finds Matua. Rovers are 5 metres short. Ellis for a gap.
No.
From dummy half, that gap was never there.
Went back into traffic there, did Andy.
Matua finds Cook. Cook to Ormondroyd.
That's the last tackle.
That's probably not the best option for Rovers on the last tackle. Paul Cook will maybe been better served putting a crossfield kick in, trying to pin the Centurions behind their own line, Joe, and force a repeat set.
Yeah, I think that would have been ideal, but obviously they thought that they perhaps could break the Leigh defence there on that last tackle, perhaps by doing the thing that Leigh weren't expecting, but they were up to it with the Leigh defence.
Here's Emmett. Pownell from acting half. And it's an early kick from
40-20 attempt.
He's going to get it. No, the bounce of the ball favours Rovers. It was a great kick from Ridyard though. It had the distance, just the bounce of the ball.
But what a chase from Gareth Hock there, wrapping up.
Indeed, and here's Hitchcox now. As Jack Ormondroyd goes off for Rovers and Jordan Baldwinson comes back on.
Yeah, Ormondroyd just missed a tackle in the last Leigh attacking set. Looked a bit tired.
Gareth Moore for a gap. Here is Baldwinson now, back on for Rovers. 15 minutes gone in the second half here at the Leigh Sports Village. 2 tries for Leigh in that time. Both of them gone to Philly, moi. So the Centurions are stretched out from 28-12 at half-time to a 40 points to 12 lead. Here they are now, just inside their own half. Well, just outside their own 20, sorry. Oh, that was a interesting call. And the Centurions have put it to ground again. That's the danger when you've got a team like Leigh, Joe, the way they play as Batua. They play such an expansive game. That's when you're going to force the mistakes like that, the way they play. Here's
it is.
Tim Spears now.
But I guess when you're playing such an expansive game, you can afford to make errors if you're going to score 34 unanswered points.
Moore. A looping pass out to Blackmore again. Here's Baldwinson. You have to give credit to this Leigh defence as well. It's been absolutely outstanding. Here's Wood. Cook. Out the back to Ian Hardman. Offloads.
Oh dear, we could be in trouble here.
Is it Brearley? Here's Brearley now. Brearley's away.
It's up to Hitchcock to chase him, but Brearley's quite a fast guy. Looks like a try to Leigh.
It is, it's Ryan Brearley. Over in that corner for the Centurions. It gets worse for Rovers. It's Leigh Centurions 44, Featherstone Rovers 12, and we've still got over 20 minutes left. Forcing the pass, Rovers maybe there. Paul Cook with trying to find support on his left-hand edge. He went to ground and Ryan Brearley picked up, sorry, not Brearley picked up, the Centurions picked up. And then a pass to Ryan Brearley. And a second hat-trick for the Centurions. It's Leigh Centurions 44, Featherstone Rovers 12.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, we were forcing the pass there, forcing the play. We were wanting to score. The Leigh defence had forced us into that error, I guess. Because Ian Hartman had come in the line, we didn't have the full back there. And when the ball went to ground and they kicked it through, I thought, well, this could be really dangerous here. Briley collected it, ran. Hitchcock gave a good chase. He's forced him out wide, so making the conversion a lot more difficult than it would have been. So, well done to Jay Hitchcock for never giving up there. And Briley's quite fast, but Hitchcock's is equally as fast, but he just couldn't catch him.
An interesting call is from the Centurions. Ryan Briley has gone off. He's on the interchange bench. There's the kick from Ridyard. You mentioned making it more difficult to Ridyard. It doesn't make a difference. Centurions convert. It's Leigh Centurions 46, Featherstone Rovers 12.
To be honest though, you've taken Ridyard off. I think it's job done for the day for him, isn't it? So, I mean, they've done the same with Moi as well. You know, it's at this point in the game, you'll be giving your interchange bench a chance in the game now.
It's Sam Barlow who's come on for Ryan Briley. So I'm not sure who's going to go into the house in Briley's place.
Oh, that looks forward. Yeah.
It was forward. That's a shocking mistake to make. From the first play from the kickoff, you talk about following up. We talked about it on numerous occasions with both Joes. When you score a try, you have to follow up, and to do that on the first tackle, Joe, is shocking.
It is, and it will be an element that, if Leigh do get into Super League, they'll have to look at this because they've made numerous errors today. The fact that they're so good in attack has got them out of that hole. But if they were against a full-time Super League side, they'd probably really struggle because they'd be punishing them for these errors.
Here's Tim Spears now. Rovers 5 metres away, just to the left of the sticks. Ellis.
Oh.
It's back to one. It was knocked out by the Centurions, was that? So it's back to one, says the referee. Ellis again comes left. Here's Hardman. Finds Matua. Matua trying to get away from Kurt Haggerty, but good defence.
Something gone on there with Hock and Matua.
Is that Garethort by any chance?
It certainly is. Something there between Hock and Matua, I do believe. The touch judge was on straight away, he saw something. And the referee's calling Gareth Hock out. See, this is the side of Leigh that we don't want to see. There's absolutely no need for this. You're 46-12 in front. Why put a high shot on Rennie Matua? Don't understand it at all.
And there's another one. Is that Gareth Hock again? I think you'll find it is.
Ridiculous. This is the side of this player that is just ridiculous. What is wrong with the man?
It's Gareth Hock again. 2 tackles in a row. High tackles twice in a row. You've got to do something, referee.
The trouble is, he's such a good player, he's Gareth Hock as well, but this side to his game is ridiculous.
How many more can he do, referee, before you're going to do something about it? Run at him again, I would. Brad England plays the ball to Andy Ellis. Finds Cook to Paul Wood. If I was Rovers, I'd be running at Gareth Hock again. That's 2 tackles in a row where he's done that. Baldwinson to Moore. They're going out wide to the right-hand edge.
It's as if he just loses his brain for some reason. Don't understand.
Ellis goes short. Hardman. His sights.
No,
he just can't take the ball in. So once again the chance goes. It's a quick tap and an early kick. The referee says no.
Yeah, Hardman never really had the ball properly, and I don't think the pass to Sykes was great. So Sykes spilt it. Again, we're forcing things. We realise that we've got to make up this points difference that's going to really harm us if we're not careful.
That's the thing, is the points difference for Rovers is now, before today, which was 141, has taken a real battering today. 34, it's down to 107 is the Rovers points difference.
And we have leaked points this season, haven't we?
With leaks, especially at home as well, though.
Yeah.
Where you'd expect us to be strongest, that's where we've leaked the points. Here are Leigh. You can see the confidence in the Leigh play, the way they try these things.
Yeah, they threw the pass there. The 46-12 in front. Oh, Rennie Matua juggling with the ball there. The 46-12 in front. They to force these passes now.
Here's Paul Wood. Ellis finds Tim Spears. Here are Rovers, then they're in just short of the Centurions 30. Centre field as Andy Ellis waits. Moore. Drop off past to Wood, back inside to Hardman. But the Centurions are so good at reading these plays, Joe.
They are.
And here's Moore, he's going to kick for the corner. It's for Blackmore to chase. And it's well taken, but a good chase from Rovers. Centurions starting on their own try line.
Yeah, our attack is looking quite pedestrian compared to the pace of Leigh's attack, isn't it, this second half?
It is indeed. Here are Leigh, that's dangerous.
Dear.
Oh dear. Yeah.
That was definitely legs above the horizontal there. I couldn't quite see who did that tackle for us. Could you, Ben?
And the Centurions players running in. As soon as that happened, I knew Centurions had run in, and indeed they do. Time's going to be called off here.
Yeah, the Leigh player didn't actually land on his head, but his legs were certainly lifted above the horizontal. It's Tim Spears, I think.
Chris Kendall just have the word with Tim Spears.
Yeah. I think it was one of those where when a player lifts the legs above the horizontal but then they sort of pull out, it was one of those. But obviously they do look really bad when you see a player being turned like that.
So it's going to be a relieving penalty for Leigh. And they're going to start just short of halfway. Looks like Jack Bussey could be returning soon. So here are Leigh, they're on the Rovers 40. Mickey Highan waits, attacks in half-back. He'll come to the right-hand side, Haggerty. That's an early kick from Brearley. Oh, that's fantastic.
No, the ref's going to disallow it. Gareth Hawke was within 10 metres of the ball being caught. Gareth Hawke was in front of the kicker and he was deemed to have interfered with all that play. Although he never touched the ball, he was within 10 metres of the guy that gathered it, so he can't be there, so that's why the penalty's gone against Leigh.
That's a big call, because it was superb.
It was a correct call.
Correct call, but it was the way it was tapped in field, though, was superb from Leigh.
It was, but Gareth Hawke had no right to be there, and that's, the rules there. Touch judge called it, I think.
Here's Rennie Matua then.
High tackle there by Worthington on Paul Wood, I think.
See, Greg Worthington's learnt to play the Centurions way. Here's Brad England. That was great play from him.
Again, we're just forcing that pass out. We were trying to force the offload. Free play here, is it?
The referee's going to say first knock on. It was the free play. So he's going to put the scrum down, head and feet to the Centurions over on that far side. Gareth Hawke not interested in getting in that scrum, interestingly enough.
We have some Featherstone Rovers fans in 90s up at the back of the stand there that they bought from Morrison's, I think. So they're having a good time anyway. It's probably the best attitude to have.
Quite probably it is. Here's Worthington. Here is Gareth Hawke.
That's good play by England there, stopping Hawke offloading. Oh,
Hawke
bit of pushing and shoving between Hawke and Matua. Oh.
Flapping at each other, I think is probably the best way I can describe that one.
Almost like a girl
Haggerty
fight.
with a flat pass. Highan works inside.
Oh, that's superb play there.
It's a forward pass again. The boos ring out round the Leigh Sports Village.
Greg McNally there with a forward pass to, I think, was it Sam Barlow? And it was a forward pass as well, in my mind. Leigh fans don't like it. Greg McNally's having a little bit of a chat with the ref about it. Doesn't like it himself, but then that's nothing new with Greg McNally, is it?
Not at all. So Centurions have had 2 tries chalked off in the second half. Both for forward passes.
Offside.
And penalised for offside at the scrum. We don't see that often, do we, nowadays? Oh no, not packing down. Penalties for not packing down at the scrum.
Yeah, it seemed to. Gareth Moore was complaining about something in the scrum there, and obviously a referee agreed with him.
So here's Jamie Cordy. Ellis finds Paul Wood. Moore. Cut out pass and Rovers are away. Sykes, is he over? Is inside pass to Ben Blackmore. That's great try from Featherstone Rovers. It was Paul Sykes with the break down the right-hand edge. Even the Centurions are cheering the Rovers.
They're sarcastically, I think, there.
Paul Sykes with a great break down that right-hand touchline. Then the inside pass to Blackmore, who was able to get over. Rovers have another try. It's Leigh Centurions 46, Featherstone Rovers 16.
Yeah, it was Paul Sykes, like you say, breaking down there, and Blackmore cleverly came back inside for that inside pass. He was supporting Sykes all the way. I was wondering when Sykes was going to release it, but he eventually did. Blackmore went over, and it's that much needed narrowing of the points difference that we're needing is this, and we could do with a few more, to be honest. I mean, the game's gone, but we could certainly do some to reduce that points difference.
Paul Wood has made his way to the touchline. Whether he's actually gone off or just taken instructions, I'm not sure. He has gone off, and Luke Cooper's back on. And Rovers get a round of applause from the Centurions. Here's Paul Sykes with the conversion. That is successful. Leigh Centurions 46, Featherstone Rovers 18.
I'm sure a few years ago when we were beating Leigh, we probably did exactly the same as what the Leigh fans are doing now to us. Although I don't think we sang songs like that.
I don't think we did either. So here's the kick-off then. Taken by Cook, and here's Jordan Baldwinson. Jack Buss is the one who's come on for Paul Wood. Bussy appealing. Cooper. Cording. Rovers attacking down that right-hand edge again. Moore. Drop off pass to Baldwinson. And there's a penalty in the tackle.
Sam Barlow, is it this time?
I think it might be. It's either Sam Barlow or Andrew Dixon, one or the other. For Rovers then. Piggybacked upfield. It was probably that. I think that was the fourth tackle at the time. So here's Jamie Cording. Knocks Andrew Dixon over. Here's Baldwinson. Luke Cooper finds Gareth Moore. Moore loses possession. So Rovers turn over possession, but if you're going to turn it over, it's better to turn it over there. Although with this Leigh side swinging out there, I'm not sure which way this penalty is going to go.
It should be towards Featherstone Rovers, should this penalty, because no matter, you let the referee ref the game, no matter whether the guy's holding on to you or not, you don't lash out like the Leigh player just did there. I'm not sure who it was. He'll either decide to penalise Leigh or just have a talk into the... Is it Ridyard? He's talking to there. Or he's calling the captains over. Both Ridyard and Sykes. I think he'll just say play on from this, don't you, Ben?
Quite probably, yes. He's just saying, look, the game's gone. We don't need any more of this. What's the decision going to be?
Penalty
to Leigh.
Well, that's
an interesting call. Not sure where that call's come from.
No, that's a bit mystifying, that, because the referee hadn't deemed that the Rovers player was holding on or anything, and it was only when the Leigh player started lashing out that the play was stopped.
Hock offloads to Hyam.
And that's the good part of Hock's game.
And here go the Centurions again.
That's gone to Baldwinson.
That's a great offload by Leigh, straight to Jordan Baldwinson. And Rovers in possession again, Ellis.
Oh,
Paul
Sykes. Oh dear.
And then he's not only knocked on, he's just stopped dead.
I think that was Alex Foster that managed to hang on there.
And then a pass into touch. Where do we start to describe that one?
Oh, was it Jamie Cordin? I think Jamie Cordin, wasn't it, that hung on there to the Leigh player going forward? But yeah, poor play by Featherstone in the first instance, wasn't it, with Paul Sykes dropping the ball.
It's just a basic catch and he put it to ground. Then not only put it to ground, he just stopped. And the Centurions picked it up and ran 30 metres. Great chasing back from Cording. And then from the next pass, the ball passed into touch.
So it's a Featherstone scrum on our own 20 metres.
And here goes Hitchcox.
It's been quiet as Jai Hitchcox today, hasn't he?
He has. He's not been as influential as he normally would be. Here's Blackmore, able to offload to Luke Cooper. That's a great offload and another 7 or 8 metres made. Here goes Jack Buster, he's on as a prop now. He was hooking earlier on in the game, he's on as a prop forward now.
Yeah, it's a good strong run by him there.
Ellis ends up taking that tackle, so Gareth Moore moves into acting half.
Oh.
Cooper juggles it but holds on. Rovers 30 metres out, centre field. It's the last tackle, says the referee. So here's Cook. It's a dink over top for Cook. That's a great kick. But well fielded by the Centurions.
Yeah, Tom Armstrong was equal to that there, wasn't he? Took it well.
And Rovers now just need a good defensive set to keep the Centurions here. Here's Emmett. Hyam takes on the line himself. So Bezic moves in.
Knock on.
It's a knock on.
I think Hyam was trying to say that he'd been pushed back down again. Today's attendance being announced as 4,127.
Pretty good attendance sat down at the Leigh Sports Village.
It is, but Leigh have really increased their crowd numbers, haven't they, since they've rose to the top of the table, which is what you'd expect.
Yep. There's Paul Sykes. As Ryan Brierley gets man of the match for the Centurions. Give Joe a couple of minutes to think about a Rovers man of the match and then we'll come back to her. Here are Rovers now though, it's Andy Ellis. More,
Wasn't a great pass there by Andy Ellis. It was in front and low of Gareth Moore and he just couldn't regather it. You want to know my man of the match? Well, we've got this break in play then, do you?
Man of the match.
We've got a scrum to Leigh just short of their own 20 metres as a result of that error. My man of the match today will be Rennie Matua because I think he has looked dangerous. He's been one of the players that's really caused some problems in the Leigh defence. He's been standing up to Gareth Hock quite a bit as well, which is always good to see as well. You know, he's not been bullied at all by the Leigh players. And that break that he made in the first half, but he's looked strong in attack and in defence as Rennie Matua, so that's why he gets my man of the match today.
So Rennie Matua gets the man of the match vote from Rovers TV. Ball's worked out to the left again. This a free play? Yes, it is. So Scrum's going to go down for the knock on, and Rovers will get head and feed. The game itself has probably got a bit scrappy in the last 10 minutes, Joe. A lot of mistakes creeping in.
Yeah, I think Leigh, when they've got the ball in hand, they're just throwing it around, seeing what can come of it. when Rovers have the ball in hand, they're just trying to force passes to try and get some more points on that board, because we are really aware of what a difference the points difference does make to this league table.
Here's Ian Hardman, finds Jai Hitchcocks. Well rocked up though by Haggerty and Worthington. Paul Cook attacks in half-back, finds Brad England. It's gone well in his first start for Rovers, hasn't he today, Brad England?
Yeah, he's been pretty solid, as Brad, out there. Yeah, he's, I liked him against when he came on, didn't he, against Bradford, and he looked good then. So it's good to see the young players coming through, and I think sometimes we just need to give them a little bit of time to bed into the team.
Time is up on my watch. Here's Andy Ellis looking for support. There was none there.
There's great support from Ellis from Jai Hitchcocks, but
Hitchcocks kicks over the top.
That's the other person that came close, not to man of the match, but in terms of Jai Hitchcocks, every game he always gives 100% for me, and he keeps it going right to the end. He's one of those players that you'd really want on your team, because we're 46-18 trailing. He's still there trying to make something, isn't he? And you can tell that he doesn't like losing. You can tell that.
He certainly can, and here's Kurt Dixon. There's the high kick, here's Hardman underneath it. Can't take it, here's Gareth Hawke.
I'm not sure about that one.
Referee's going to give it.
It was a great high kick, that, wasn't it, that went up in the air. Hardman went for it. There was an equal challenge there on that high kick, and the ball came down onto Leigh, and Gareth Hawke it is who's come away and scored under the posts for Leigh. And that gets their half century up, I do believe.
It is, it's Leigh Centurions 50, Featherstone Rovers 18. So the conversion is going to be under the uprights.
Jake Emmett.
Jake Emmett.
This is something that Leigh do, isn't it? Let the props take kicks when they're very far ahead, when it's under the posts. Just to rub further salt into their opponent's wounds.
Indeed they do. So that's a 52 points to 18 victory for Leigh. Pretty comprehensive, it has to be said. And there is the full-time hooter. Rovers suffer the first away defeat of the season in the league to the Centurions. That's 7 out of 7 for Leigh victories over Rovers. Rovers haven't beaten Leigh now in 7 games. It all started off so well for the Centurions as well, with the first of a hat-trick of tries from Fui Moi Moi, which Ridyard converted. Brad England went over for his try on his first start for Rovers, levelled up by Paul Sykes, and Ian Hardman went over as well for Rovers. That made it 10 points to 6. Paul Sykes converted to give Rovers a 12-6 lead. That try for Ian Hardman was his 500th career point for Ian Hardman. Then Greg Worthington, Leigh then had 4 tries right before half-time. Greg Worthington not converted. Then McNally and 2 from Ryan Browley all were. Fui Moi Moi scored 2 tries within 10 minutes of start of the second half, completing his hat-trick, both converted by Ridyard. That put the 40 up for the Centurions. Ben Blackmore then went over for Rovers to make it 46-18. Before right on the full-time booster, Gareth Hock went over. Jake Emmett converted to make it 52-18. Joe, a pretty comprehensive defeat.
Certainly was. I think this defeat mainly was down to that 11 minutes in the first half where, Featherstone Rovers were looking pretty good. We were matching Leigh. We were looking okay. Leigh were making some errors. That 11 minutes though where they scored those 4 tries, that just broke us really, and it's just been hard for us to come back after that. It has to make you wonder where this leaves Featherstone Rovers now going into these last couple of games. The game at Sheffield is going to be really crucial. It's how we pick ourselves up mentally after this game. I'm sure not many teams will come to Leigh and win, but to lose 52 points to 18 is the most disappointing aspect. The score line and the points difference, and it's up to us now to see how we pick up ourselves mentally going into the game next week. It's a really important game to win if we've got any hope of a top 4, but that top 4 place is really looking to be slipping away from us now, I'm afraid to say.
It does look to be slipping away, but Rovers, in terms of the points difference, if they can get the win next week at Sheffield, for the last game they are at home to Whitehaven, and you would like to hope that Rovers can rack some points up in that last match.
Yeah, I mean, we are relying on what other teams do around us now, aren't we? So there's a lot of twists and turns. It's not gone, hasn't that top 4? But yeah, it depends what John Sharp can do with the team this week as well. Like we were saying before the game, he's not had a full week of training with them yet. He's only had a couple of sessions, so he won't have been able to stamp his own personal mark on this game. So we have to see what goes on, what happens going into this week, coming in the training. Be interesting to see what John Sharp has to say after the game as well, I think, in this interview.
It will indeed. Full time here at the Leigh Sports Village. Rovers finally beaten away from home this year. Leigh Centurions have come out on top. It's Leigh 52, Featherstone Rovers 18. John, shows just how far we've got to come.
Yeah, we came up against a really good side today. I thought that, in particular, from about 20 minutes, 20 to 60, Leigh were really good. I thought they executed well and completed the sets, and I thought we could handle that phase of the game much better. Got off to a really good start, played some excellent football. We went 12-6 up after 25 minutes and looked really comfortable. Created some opportunities, played some nice football. Thought we defended really well, forced some errors from Leigh that we were looking to do, and they didn't look like they were handling things as well as what they have done in the past, but it was their turn then, and I thought that they had some momentum and completed, I think, about 90% of the sets. For a good 40 minutes, it was very difficult for us to get back into the game and get any energy back into us. We probably finished the last 20 minutes with a tired team who looked like they'd been defending for most parts of the game, and when we did have the ball, we looked a little bit under the pump physically, and we certainly lost the wrestle.
That 10-minute spell leading up to half-time was crucial in probably in the outcome of the game. 4 tries for the Centurions, and Rovers just couldn't cope with it, could we? Yeah,
we got off to a really good start, and we've got a young bench. We've got some young fellas on there, and wanted to give them an opportunity. The squad is a little bit thin, but we wanted to give the young blokes a chance as well, and we had every confidence that they were going to do a really good job. And it was just so at that time Barlow was on, and Mickey Heim was probably at his best by then as well. The momentum has swung their way, and it just seemed to be at the wrong place at the wrong time for some of the young blokes, although I'm not pointing the finger at them at all, but it was a phase in the game where I thought Leigh just went up another level and we just couldn't stick with them.
Have you seen signs in this Rovers team of positivity, things that you can work on to improve the team?
I've seen signs in positivity on Thursday when we practiced, and then on Friday when I practiced with them. I've had 2 days with them, and I was very encouraged with some of the things that they could do. And now I've seen them in a game mode. It gives me a bit more information to assess and to understand what needs to be done, and what as a club we need to do to improve, because it's unacceptable conceding 50 points. It's unacceptable. And I spoke to the blokes afterwards in there about lots of good things. I thought the positives, like Paul Woods and coming back after 6 weeks, I thought was tremendous and played big minutes. Young Baldwinson was excellent for a young front rower, and Rennie Matua is probably the best game he's had for Featherstone. There's lots of good positives in there from individuals, but not enough. We can't come here and have 10 decent performances and then a couple that aren't quite on the money. So that needs addressing, whether it's through selection and rotation and different combinations. We'll have to look at the tape and then decide where we're going to go with it. But some good stuff in there, just not enough. You can't play for 60 minutes or 50 minutes against a team like Leigh when they're in such good form.
Are there areas in the stream where areas in the team where you are looking to strengthen, where you do feel looking at a bit more strength in depth?
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't pinpoint a particular position, because it's almost seen as a criticism of individuals, which I wouldn't do that in the public domain. But we need to look at the rotation of the squad. We need to look at some numbers and where we're heading, and possibly where we can rotate and change people a little bit. So at this minute in time, it's work in progress, I suppose. I've had one look at them, and they've come up against a really good team, and we've fallen short.
How do you rate the performances of Brad England starting today in the centres, and also Luke Cooper off the bench?
Encouraging. They came in at a really late stage, in particular Brad England, who just had one practice with us. Mins was supposed to be playing and pulled out at the last minute on Friday, so young Brad had a hell of a job to fill in and learn his position as well as what he could. But there's some encouraging signs from him. And young Cooper, I've heard lots of good things about him, lots and lots of good things. Today was a tough day for him. I think when he came out on the field, didn't get much ball really, because we were defending a hell of a lot. But there's some encouraging signs with these young kids that are coming through. There is. We just need, as a group, I think we need to be just a little bit stronger mentally. I think we need to be a little bit tougher when things go tough for us. We need to handle those parts of the game better than what we did today, because when momentum goes against you, you've got to batten down the hatches, you've got to stick together, and you've got to work your way through it. And at times I thought we just looked a little bit vulnerable when we didn't have the ball.
2 games left for Rovers now, away at Sheffield next week. That's a crucial game now, a massive game in terms of us finishing in the top 4.
Yeah, today was massive. Today was massive, and we came here full of confidence and belief, and we felt that we'd be able to put in a good performance and hopefully come up with a win. Next week's the same. Sheffield are a really good team, and I've been for a long while now, and we've got to go there with and dust ourselves down. We've got plenty of evidence from today's game that we'll be working on and help us with our selection and our practice. We can now get our teeth into this team and look at where we're going to head. Sheffield are a challenge. I think at this minute in time, I think they're playing pretty well, aren't they? I don't know what score it is, but I think they're ahead at the minute. But from our perspective, it's very much about us picking ourselves up and looking at the tape from today's game and getting the right team and trying to choose the right team that will certainly be very competitive and hopefully win at Sheffield.
John, thanks for your time.
Thank you.